All right, guys, I'm going to take you with me to Las Vegas. I just did the Mario Andretti and Richard Petty driving experiences to now complete my entire bucket list of every driving experience that Las Vegas has to offer. So both Andretti and Richard Petty both have their experiences at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The Richard Petty is the stock car experience and the Mario Andretti is the open wheel car experience, and they both take place on the tri-oval. So I'll tell you what, I did everything that they had to offer, and they're significantly different, and here is why. The one that I would have chosen is like, that would have been the faster lap, that would have been the more fun, would have been the open wheel. I've done the open wheel experience down at COTA in the 2007 Lotus. This was different. It's only a one-gear vehicle, so they're going to push you to a start, get you up to speed, because obviously you wouldn't be able to start from a stop with only one gear, because that gear has to be able to go up to your top speed. And then all you have to do at that point in time is focus on your tachometer. Now, they have a tower guy who is watching you for all of your laps and talking to you into a headset. And they're increasing your RPMs as you go along. Now, if you're like me, you're like, all right, you know what, I'm feeling this isn't going too fast, and just you want to speed it up. Well, it doesn't really work like that, because they've got a chip, or they call it a chip, which is a rev limiter. And just like any car, if you just step on the gas, blah, 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 you're going to bang off the rev limiter. Now, think of it as a two-step where they can set that rev limiter at 4,500 or 5,500, whatever the things are. On your first couple of laps, they have you at a 4,800 RPM, maybe 5,000 RPM rev limit. So the max speed you can go around this track is, say, 140 miles an hour. If you want to go any faster than that, you have to actually pit in, and they have to do something to the car. It's probably just flip a different switch. You're not going to just start flipping switches in a race car because you don't know what you're doing. But you go out there, they flip a different switch, and now you have a higher rev limiter. And what they do is they have you go up, hit that rev limiter, and then you'll see, because the tach isn't entirely accurate, hit that rev limiter and just back it down just a bit. And that's where you live. And then you just keep lapping. And it's cool because you really get to feel the G-forces. I was able to experience both the NASCAR, which made me feel really small. And I'm calling it a NASCAR. It's a stock car. I don't know the exact specs on the vehicle. Matt Farah also did the experience, and he detailed what the actual specs of the vehicles were. But it was something where the NASCAR steering wheel was so big, and I'm, again, calling it the NASCAR, the steering wheel was so big that I feel like I had to sort of look up, like I had to sit on a phone book or something to see over the steering wheel. Now, that was a little intimidating for me because I'm usually like very comfortable in a car and everything sort of works around me. This one, there was more play in the steering wheel and you sort of felt the grip a little bit more, but it was definitely not as tight of a car as you're going to feel with the open wheel. The open wheel car was very, very mechanical feeling, and the inputs on the steering wheel, especially with the smaller wheel, were much more direct. So you actually feel similar G-forces, and it's just like a cooler experience. Like, you're not supposed to be like looking around, but when you look around, you see the tires next to you as you're driving. That's just really cool, really difficult to replicate. I was out there and I thought I was going to go faster in the open wheel than I did the stock car. However, since I was in the rookie category, my top speed was 143 miles an hour and 21 in the open wheel. Now, 143, that was rev limited as they stage you up going around. I mean, you're just maintaining speed, but 143 felt pretty good, felt pretty quick, but I definitely went faster in the open wheel, in the stock car, because that I averaged with a top speed of 154.68, which means that's the average 154 because you're lapping at the same RPM. And it's cool. Like when you got to that point, when I was going around at like 52, 5400 in the stock car, that was a lot of fun. That was starting to feel a little bit like, all right, now we're starting to get towards the limits of the car. And I know we're not, but feeling those G-forces, I got to admit that was a really fun experience. I would say my average speed of 154 is pretty legit. Lapping any course, when I say 154 average, even through the banking, even through all the turns, straight line and turns, I'm going the same speed. I'm holding that same RPM. So going through any banking at 155 miles an hour, regardless of the car, is a lot of fun. And it was cool that they were able to build you up to that without needing experience. And they do it in a very safe And you could tell it's a very safe way. You go through your briefing. It's a 20-minute briefing. They show you how to operate it. Even the manual stock cars, they can bump start you in fourth gear, so you don't have to even know how to drive stick if you even want to go out and do that. If you like to drive stick, yeah, you get to shift gears a couple of times, but you don't do it while you're on the track. They're both, the experience is designed to get them in gear, get them on the track, let them go, let them lay down their speed, and you get to have a lot of fun. The noise that came out of that stock car was very cool. The side pipes really added to the experience. You've got the helmet, the harnesses, the roll cages around you. It's very different than all the other experiences I did. And at the end of it, they gave me a cool plaque, which is really cool. It's a carbon fiber plaque. I'll either put it on the wall or maybe I'll sign it and give it away to one of you guys. I think either is possible. But the experience, well worth it if you want to mix it up a little bit. Yeah, driving an exotic car around a racetrack is fun, but being in an actual race car, if you're a NASCAR fan or an open wheel fan, the open wheel is tough to beat. I mean, it's an experience in itself, but just going around this track and feeling these sensations is something that you're only going to get doing an experience like this, unless, of course, you're a professional race car driver, which you're not. Now, fear not, like you're going to go into something like this and be very anxious that you're going to run the risk of hurting yourself or crashing the car. They do it in such a way, I mean, obviously there's no traction control or anything like that, but they do it in such a way that if the limit of the car is up here, even in the advanced programs, you're here. You're still not near the limit, so you're not running the risk of doing anything and putting yourself in any real harm. Even in the rookie class, I would say that my open wheel car on those tires in that weather can probably lap the track 30 or 40 miles an hour, maybe even faster than where I was going at 143. So they do it in a very controlled way, which allows you to go out, enjoy yourself, and go home and talk about it. So if you're interested, check the link in the description. I had a lot of fun. If you guys want, put it in the top comment. If you get enough thumbs up, I'll sign this and give it away in one of the upcoming giveaways. But it was a lot of fun. Next time you're in Vegas, check it out. Check the link in the description and enjoy yourself. It's a lot of fun. I still, looking back on it, I'd say do them both. You have to do at least one program that gets you up to that higher, especially if you have racing experience, you're going to want to bump yourself up to that second level. So you're going to have to go out and do the introductory laps, but you want to get to that like 155 mile an hour speed, because at that point in time, you're having a good time. For those of you not familiar with my other company, I started a company called Adventure Drives, which combines driving and bucket list travel. So it's a lot of fun. Our next trip is up to the Northern Lights in Iceland at the end of February. We're going to be doing snowmobiling on glaciers, off-roading, taking a dip in the Blue Lagoon, and drinking whiskey until we're silly. So that's going to be a lot of fun. After that, we're off to Europe for a trip in July. If you're interested, prices can be done per person. It starts at about $3,000 per person for Iceland. Don't worry, if you don't have somebody to go with you, we can match you up with somebody. You can check the link in the description for adventuredrives.com and sign up today.